welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a new makeup releases, a will I buy it, a purchase or pass, whatever you want to call it. I am going to be going over the new makeup releases and just my overall thoughts on them, whether I'm interested in them or not. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around, but with all that, let's just get started talking about some new releases. All right, I haven't done one of these in quite some time. I usually do them every 2 weeks or so, but now that holiday's over, I might just do them once a month or just when I feel like talking about the new stuff. So I have a lot to talk about. As always, new makeup releases just never ever stop, no matter what time of year it is. So I might have to pare this down a little bit. I try to pull things that I was interested in as well as things that maybe I just wanted to talk about. So let's start with like the newest things I have, and then we'll go to older things. That just sounds like the easiest right now. Clionadh has some palettes, and it looks like they're coming out with like smaller curated palettes. I'm really interested to see the direction that they're going to go with this, but there's two little quads that they're coming out with, and it's the Garland and Garden mini quads. They're around $30, I think. When I looked on their website, it was in euros, so it's hard for me to say how much US dollars they were, but they were about 30 euros. I don't think it's that bad because you're getting a very curated color story, two kind of special shimmery shades and two mattes. I don't know if these are multi-chromes or duochromes or what they are, because I'm just really not interested in them. While I think this is a really great idea for Clionadh to expand their audience, so to say, these color stories don't really speak to me. If anything, the green one does, but the red warm tone one, not so much. So I'm going to skip on this. I'm trying to be a lot more thoughtful with my purchases. And this one, like, if I was buying a lot of things and just wanted to review stuff, I maybe would have picked this up. I wouldn't be mad if I got it as like a gift, but spending my own money on them, I'm just not going to do. I did want to talk about the Twilight and Colourpop New Moon collection. This seems to be getting a lot of attention, mainly for the IP, but also because the color story. I feel like this year, 2025, we're going to be seeing a lot of warm tone palettes. I think people are getting a little bit tired of the cool tones. Not me personally, but I do find myself liking some warm tone palettes. I do think this palette's kind of pretty, but what stops me from purchasing it is that I just don't know how much use I would get out of this palette. I can't figure it out. It has some other things, like there's some multi-chrome eye sticks, there's some Super Shock shadows, or they're highlighters. I'm not sure which Super Shock shadows, but I would say the main thing's the Twilight palette. I think that what I'm going to try to do is dupe out this palette with some of my Natasha Denona MIDI palettes, because I've done that before with the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Moonlight. Play around with it, see what I think of the color story, if I like using the color story, and then maybe I could justify picking this up. It's not fully off the table though, partly because Colourpop's so affordable. If this was like a $60 palette, I would easily pass on it. But the fact that it's $24, if I think I'll get some use out of it after trying out my duping method, I might just pick this up. I might. Moving right along, we have some luxury. So YSL came out finally with their blushes. This is the Make Me Blush 24-Hour Buildable Powder Blush. Supposed to be a medium coverage. It says a matte finish, but I think that 3 of them are matte and 3 of them are a little bit shiny or glowy, because I saw these in Sephora the other day, and there's definitely some glowy ones, not just matte ones, but they're supposed to be waterproof, sweat-proof, and 24 hours of bright colored flesh. I almost said flesh. That would have been weird. let me see the price. Okay, they're $45. I like these. I'm a sucker for YSL. I really am, but I'm not going to pick these up. I just have so much blush to get through in my collection, so I am going to skip this. It might be something like eventually I pick up, but I don't really feel the urge to immediately purchase this. So I'm going to just ride that high and pass on this. There's other things I would want way more than this. But then it also looks like YSL's coming out with their All Hours Hyper Luminize powder, which is basically a highlighter. 3 shades. It's not out yet. This is just a sneak peek, so we'll see when they finally release this, because they teased those blushes for a while before they actually came out. It does say it's available now in Europe, but like I said, I was at Sephora the other day and I did not see them in Sephora. They could be on the YSL France website. I don't know. I haven't looked. But even this, don't need. I didn't purchase any highlighters in 2024. And while I love highlighter, I will never stop wearing highlighter. I know that that hasn't been as much of a trend. I just don't feel the need to buy highlighter. I'm still wearing it though, for sure. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to pass on this. I'm proud that I didn't buy any highlighters in 2024, and I plan on continuing that in 2025 unless something like really jumps out. And this is also one of those things, having them come out with these 2 products so close together. If I was going to buy a blush, I would buy a highlighter, or vice versa. January is usually foundation month. We've had quite a few foundation launches. I wanted to talk about this one. This is the Guerlain Terracotta Le Tint Glow. So the Terracotta Le Tint, I did a whole dedicated review on. I actually really enjoyed that foundation. I liked it a lot, considering not all Guerlain products work out for me. They're either hit or miss. I did like that foundation. So this one, they're expanding their line from the original to the Glow, and it's supposed to promise an intensified radiance. 32 shades. Available now in Europe, coming soon to the USA. I am not interested in this. If you know anything about me, I don't love overly luminous foundations. I already found the original to not really be super matte. It was kind of like a natural matte finish. That's glowy enough for me by the time my natural oils come out. So to have just like a very serum-like foundation that's going to be even more radiating doesn't sound like this is for me. This is definitely for someone maybe with extremely dry skin, or for someone who really, really likes to look just like very sweaty. And that's not me. So I'm going to pass on this. But there's a lot of other foundations coming out. This Makeup Forever foundation, I have to say that I was tempted by this, but I'm not going to pick it up only because of the claims. I'm trying to be realistic with myself. Again, trying to be a more thoughtful consumer, and maybe not just purchase it to do a review on it, stick it in my drawer, and it gets lost there to never be used again. But this is the Makeup Forever Super Boost Lightweight Moisturizing Skin Tint with hyaluronic and polyglutamic acids. A moisturizing and visibly plumping skin tint with sheer to medium coverage that leaves a radiant, healthy skin finish and non-oily feel. So they actually had this at the Sephora when I went in. They only had the testers out. They didn't have the actual product to purchase. So that's what convinced me that I didn't need this. And that's what I need to like start doing go forward. I live in a very, very small town. And when I mean small, I mean the population of where I live is 120 people. And when my parents first moved here in like 2008 or so, there was only 100 people. So it's very, very small. It takes about 45 minutes for me to go to a Sephora. And I just don't go that often because I don't need to. And I buy things online instead. But this is an example of going into the store, swatching the product on the back of my hand, and I could just tell instantly it was a formula that I was not going to enjoy. Probably. Obviously, I would have to actually test it, but chances are I don't think I would like it. It says here that it's a non-oily feel. I feel like it felt really oily just on my skin when I swatched it. So I'm going to pass on this completely. While it would be nice to review a foundation for you all, give you my thoughts, I have so many other foundations that I haven't even cracked into yet and tested. So I am going to pass on this. I'm interested to see reviews. I really like the component of it. I think it's really smart. I think it definitely has an audience, but I don't think that audience is for me. So I'm just going to take a step back. Let's see what other foundations I have, because I have some. This Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation, again, doesn't sound like something that I want. I'm a little bit surprised by this foundation. We don't see a lot of matte full coverage foundations anymore. So this it did catch my eye because of that. So this is a medium to full coverage, long wearing formula that blurs pores, fine lines, and wrinkles for up to 12 hours. It's supposed to be hydrating, velvety matte foundation with precision blur technology, contains hyaluronic acid like every other foundation. It's $46. I'm interested again to see reviews, 25 shades, but I worry that it's going to be too matte. It just sounds really, really matte. And I need that Goldilocks foundation. I don't want it too glowy. I don't want it too matte. I want it right in the middle. So I'm going to pass on this. Again, interested to see reviews. If I'm hearing really good reviews, I could see myself picking it up to test for myself. But as of now, I'm just going to also take a step back. The Hourglass, I can't tell what this is. Is this a re-release? Let me know in the comments. Or is this a reformulation? Because this is the Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation from Hourglass. And let's see. Right now it says coming soon, but I've seen reviews pop up. I just haven't watched them. But it's in the same packaging as their last foundation. So I can't tell if they just came out with this foundation or if it's a completely new one. Either way, again, Luminous Glow, I'm not really into it. This one, out of the ones I've talked about so far, would be the one I would pick up the most, I think, to try. It's definitely the most promising as far as what I like in a foundation, but I still think I'm going to pass and just keep my eyes on the foundations I haven't tried yet that I want to do reviews on. I recently did one on the Milani Blur Stick. That video should be coming maybe next week. I bought the new Maybelline Superstay Lumi foundation. I have the Huda Beauty Easy Blur still to review. So I think I'm set on foundations. But yeah, this one definitely is in my top tier as far as new releases and foundations. There's still some other foundation releases though. Let's just go by category. The Clinique Even Better Vitamin Makeup SPF 50. I cannot keep up with Clinique foundations. I swear they're always discontinuing their foundations, releasing a new one. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not sure what the marketing strategy is behind that, but I notice it a lot. And I used to buy the foundations to review, and then I just couldn't keep up with their launches. Anyways, this is supposed to be, let's see, weightless, last up to 12 hours, sweat and moisture resistant. I'm not seeing what kind of coverage. I'm not seeing with a radiant finish. That's the kind of finish, but I'm not seeing the kind of coverage. Clinique has solid foundations for the most part. If you can find one that goes with your skin and it's what you like, then usually they're pretty good foundations. They get overlooked a lot because I feel like Clinique, we don't really look at that brand as much for makeup. But I will say, they have some solid foundations, just tend to discontinue them really quickly. Not really interested in this one, to be honest. This Even Better line is just played out for me. I'd still go with the Hourglass. And then the last foundation that I have is the Givenchy Prisme Libre. This is the Glow Serum Foundation. So Givenchy already has a foundation. This is reminding me of Dior, is what that's doing. So they already have their original matte foundation. Then they have the glow version of that foundation, and it seems like they're redoing the glow version. I have not tried the glow version, the luminous version. I've only tried the original matte formula, And let me tell you, that was one of the worst foundations I've ever tried. It was absolutely horrific considering how much I love Givenchy. I don't have 61 euros right now, and it's 30 shades. So it's supposed to be a natural looking radiance boosted by the prismatic light technology, waterproof, transfer resistant, blurring glow. And it's a serum foundation. Okay, that makes sense. It says it's available now in Europe. I'd have to look to see. This one is kind of hard for me to be like, no, I don't want to try it. I do want to try it, but I don't think I'm going to. The serum kind of intrigues me. I'm bumping this one up above the Hourglass, I think, only because my loyalty lies more with Givenchy than Hourglass, but I still think I'm going to pass. Maybe I won't. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I am a little bit interested in this one, even though it has glowing properties. A serum glow is a little bit different. Like that sounds to me like it's going to be a little bit lighter coverage. And one of the big gripes I had with the original Givenchy is that it was so full coverage. So maybe this is more of their light coverage option, light to medium coverage. If it's less full coverage, I would definitely be interested. I need to look into this one for sure. I kind of just added it to my list to talk about, but now that I'm actually really looking at it, that might be one that I want to pick up. Now let's go to palettes. There are some palettes I'm really, really excited about. One that I'm for sure going to pick up is the Bella Beaute Bar. This is the Morally Gray 9-pan magnetic palette. It says coming soon on the post that I'm looking at, but I believe it comes out the 29th. I could be wrong. The only thing I'm missing about this that I really want to know is the price, because Bella Beaute Bar hasn't come out with a 9-pan that I'm aware of. So I'm wondering what the price is going to be, considering this is definitely a higher priced indie brand, but I can't resist this for a Valentine's Day launch. It is so cute. The heart-shaped pans, the color story, everything. I love it. I'm definitely going to be picking that one up. I'm also going to pick up, this is a little bit older, but I still want to talk about it because I'm so excited, the Simply Posh Cosmetics Snow Angel. As far as I know, this is on pre-order right now. It's $55 and it's 12 rich muted cool tone mattes from deep to pastel, 6 super sparkly duochromes, multi-chrome shimmers to give you that perfect wintry fantasy. This is coming to Monolith, which is kind of a third-party European reseller for indie brands. That's where I'm going to pick this up. It just hasn't launched yet. I think it's like February 2nd that it drops. I'm for sure going to get this. I love Simply Posh Cosmetics. If you are new to my channel, their Cozy Cabin palette was the first palette that I purchased from them, and I use that palette all the time. I love it so much. It's just so simple and easy. It gives color, it gives neutrals, it gives everything, and I'm liking this color story. It is very wintry, so I'm for sure going to pick it up. The Cozy Cabin, they did bring that back because it was gone for a while. So if you were interested in that palette, definitely go pick it up now because it is available on their website. And I really, really recommend that palette. They have affiliate codes. I do not have one. Go find one to save some money. But even without an affiliate code, highly recommend that palette. So I will be picking up those two. Some palettes that I'm not going to pick up, the Fantasy Cosmetica. I'm just waiting for my perfect Fantasy Cosmetica palette to come. I have not tried this brand yet. I really would like to try them in 2025. A lot of people talk about them, and I just have a feeling it's going to be one of those brands that I fall down the rabbit hole. So I'm trying to very carefully pick my first palette. I'm very tempted by the Cradle in Ice, but this new release, let's go back to that and stop rambling in circles. This is, what's this palette called? This is the Monk palette. It's another one of the 9-pans. It launches Wednesday, January 29th. I do not have a price, but usually I think Fantasy Cosmetica, they're not terribly expensive, like $30 or $40. 40 would be more expensive, but I think it's like the mid 30 range. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, as far as the color story goes, very warm toned, too warm toned for me. Like the Twilight New Moon palette's bordering on pretty warm tone for me, and this is just like warm tone turned up a notch. It is those bright, bright yellows, those bright oranges. So not for me at all. Gonna pass on this, but I'm excited to see people's reviews and see if Fantasy Cosmetica just continues to kill it with their palettes. And I actually don't have that many other palettes to talk about. Let's talk about the Blend Buddy Plastics palette. This really didn't interest me. I'm not like super big into pinks, although looking at the swatches now, it actually looks less pink than I was thinking. I think the packaging just really maybe skewed my thoughts on this palette right away. But looking at the swatches, there's actually a decent amount of neutrals in here, some purples. It's not that bad actually. I'm still not going to pick it up. Maybe if it was on sale, I would pick it up just to have it. I have one Blend Bunny palette. It's the Longing palette. I do really like that palette, but their aesthetic's a lot more colorful than my personal aesthetic. Despite me wearing this like very bright blue eye look today, I really went out of my comfort zone with the Cosmic Beauty Winter Wonderland palette. I'm trying to no pan left behind this, see if it needs to stay in my collection or not. All the makeup that I'm wearing is always listed in the description box, but this eye look is not my normal day-to-day, I would say. And I worry about how much I would actually wear this day-to-day. Although now I'm like second guessing myself looking at the swatches, because I really did think it was much more pink. There's really only like 3 pinks, 1 coral, 4 neutrals, 2 like deep dark purples, a blackish, and then like an iridescent shade. I would buy this on sale, is where I'm going to leave this. I don't even know the original price. $34. Oh, maybe I will pick this up. I might just pick this up. Okay. Let me know down below if you pick this palette up and if you like it or not. I would love to know. Something I am so excited about. I know I keep saying this, but I swear I made this come true. If you saw one of my videos that I posted, it feels like I posted it a month ago, but it's been longer than that. I think it was like last summer. It was 5 palettes that I feel like I missed out on. One of those palettes was the Tarte Aspyn Ovart palette, and they are bringing it back. I am so excited. I am on the wait list for it. It's going to be $45. I don't have the time that they're going to, or the date that they're going to release it, but I cannot tell you how excited I am. This is a neutral palette. This was Mel Thompson's like #1 favorite palette that she would use just for staple looks whenever she needed a neutral palette. I lusted over this palette. I never was able to get it. I just couldn't afford it at the time that it came out. And the fact that they're re-releasing it, I don't care that like maybe if this was just releasing today, I wouldn't pick it up because I have these shades over and over again. It just needs to fill the void in my heart of having never picked up this palette. I need to have it. I will prioritize this above all else. I am so excited for this launch. Let me know if you're also like me, or if you're just like, whatever, who cares about this launch? Because I could see that too, that some people just don't care. But for me personally, I am very excited. And then let's see what else we have to talk about. We have some complexion products. Rare Beauty is expanding their complexion. They're coming out with the Soft Pinch Liquid Contour. While this looks nice, I'm not going to purchase this. I would much rather get the bronzer stick. I don't love liquids as much as creams. It's just a little bit harder to work with, a little bit more cumbersome to work with. So if I was going to purchase from Rare Beauty, I would rather try the bronzer stick than this. I'm not that excited for it, to be honest. I just think it's them kind of expanding their repertoire of products. So I'm interested to see who buys this and who likes it. But for me, this is not a product that I would really enjoy. This Pat McGrath thing, let's talk about this. And I want some opinions, because people seem really excited about this, and I just think it's a little bit out there. I'm glad that Pat McGrath seems to be coming out with maybe like more innovative products. This is definitely not something we've ever seen before, or that I've seen. Maybe this product exists, but it is the Glass Skin Artistry Mask. It's coming out on January 30th. And it's inspired by the runway moment when she had that really glassy makeup look on the runway that everyone went crazy about. So it's a peel off mask, and it hydrates, tightens, and transforms every complexion into glassy perfection. Glow like never before and experience the artistry. I just don't understand. Like, do you put the mask on and then your makeup, and then it gives you like this very glass, shiny, like you look like a porcelain doll is the objective of this product. So do you put your makeup on while the mask is on to give you that effect? Or is it like a skincare mask where you peel, like you use the mask like normal, wear it for 10 minutes, whatever, you get the skincare properties, peel off the mask, and your skin is supposed to have that glass-like finish? I am unsure. I'm going to watch some reviews on this because I think it's very different, and I just want to know what this product's all about, but I'm definitely not going to purchase it because I don't like looking sweaty, like I already talked about some other foundations. So that's my thoughts on that, but let me know yours because I just think it's definitely a little bit out there, in my opinion. Let's talk about two more things. Let's talk about Rhode. They're coming out with a peptide lip shape, the contouring lip shaper. I mean, Rhode is like the new KKW, Kylie Cosmetics, in my opinion. These are $24. It's supposed to help lips feel smoother and more hydrated over time, but you're only using it on your lip line, so I don't really see the point of having peptides in it. I will say, as far as like Kylie Cosmetics versus this, it seems like this brand has actual beneficial ingredients. I'm just comparing them as far as like celebrity status wise. This is going to be available January 30th, and I already said it's $24. I have not purchased anything from Rhode. I don't think it's a brand I can get here in France, and if easily, I can't get that brand easily here. I know that. So I just haven't purchased from them, and I don't really necessarily have the urge to. I would like to try some of their products because I hear them talked about, hyped up a lot. I know that a lot of people like their peptide lip mask thing, but I don't know. It's just not something I'm going to go out of my way to purchase, so I haven't. I would much rather pick up one of these lip liners, though, than the lip peptide mask thing, because that's a dime a dozen. You can get those anywhere. The lip liners actually do look kind of nice, though. I'm a little bit interested. I could see a lot of people picking them up. And then, let's see, the last thing that I want to talk about are the Natasha Denona. This is the High Blush Cloudy Cream Cheek Duo. I believe this is out now. There's 6 inclusive must-have balmy glow shades. Do we have a price? $42. I do have a affiliate code with Natasha Denona. It's just Melissa. If you want to pick anything up, save some money from her website. You don't have to. I'm not going to personally pick this up. Like I said before, am just not trying to get complexion products. I don't need another blush in my collection, especially another cream blush. $42 I think is pretty pricey for this. I would say like $36, which is maybe how much you would spend after using an affiliate code. I realize that, but you can't really get a discount on Sephora or anything, or any of those mainstream stores like Ulta where you could pick this up as well. I just think 42 is a little bit high personally. After that though, even the colors don't really intrigue me. Like, none of these are even a color story where I feel like I have to have it. I think that there's like a glowy and matte side, but I don't know. And I'm just not digging this launch. I'm sure a lot of people are excited. Usually people are excited about Natasha Denona. I definitely understand why she launched this around Valentine's Day, but for me, like, I'm not feeling it. And I have seen already like videos pop up on my feed of people excited. So I'd love to know if you're excited about this launch, or you're just feeling like I am and just not really into it. I wish I could pinpoint more why this just doesn't do it for me. I don't know, but I'm going to be skipping on that for sure. There's other Natasha Denona things I have on my list before purchasing those blushes. I'm really, for some reason, like obsessing over the Yucca palette right now. I really want to pick that up. That's probably going to be my next Natasha Denona purchase. Anyways, those are all the new makeup releases that I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, let me know your opinions down below. Are you feeling the new makeup launches? Are you feeling burnout? Are you on a low buy or no buy this year? I would love to know all your thoughts and opinions, but this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.